20. White rice. Let's start with something almost everyone already has sitting somewhere in the kitchen, but very few people truly understand the power of. White rice doesn't just sit quietly in a pantry waiting to be cooked. It's one of the most reliable long-term survival foods ever discovered. When stored properly in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, white rice can last up to 30 years, sometimes even longer. That's not hype. That's real-world storage science backed by history. Archaeological discoveries have even uncovered ancient rice that remained edible after thousands of years. The reason comes down to how it's processed. Unlike brown rice, white rice has had its oils removed. Those oils are what usually cause food to go rancid. Without them, rice becomes incredibly stable over time. And beyond the shelf life, it delivers where it matters. It's calorie-dense, lightweight, and incredibly versatile. It can turn into a full meal with almost anything added to it. In times of crisis, rice has consistently shown up as a dependable staple. In some situations, it has even functioned as a form of trade currency because of how valuable and trusted it is. It's simple, but that simplicity is exactly what makes it powerful. 19. Canned vegetables. Canned vegetables don't usually get much attention. They're not exciting, they're not trendy, and they definitely don't steal the spotlight at dinner. But when fresh food disappears, these become incredibly valuable. The canning process essentially locks food in time. Vegetables are sealed, heated, and sterilized right inside the can. That process kills bacteria and prevents spoilage from the very beginning. Stored in a cool, dry place, canned vegetables can last anywhere from 5 to 10 years, sometimes even longer. What makes them even more useful is something most people overlook. They contain liquid. That means they don't just provide nutrients like fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants, but they also contribute to hydration when clean water isn't easily available. During difficult situations, something as simple as a can of green beans or corn can suddenly feel like a full, satisfying meal. They may not have the same texture as fresh produce, but they absolutely deliver when it comes to nutrition and reliability. 18. Honey. Honey is one of those foods that almost sounds fictional when talking about shelf life. It doesn't just last a long time. It essentially lasts forever. There have been jars of honey discovered in ancient Egyptian tombs that were over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. That's not marketing. That's history. Its ability to last comes from its natural chemistry. Honey has extremely low moisture and high acidity, which makes it nearly impossible for bacteria to grow. As long as it's sealed properly, it simply doesn't spoil. But honey isn't just about sweetness. It has real functional value. It can be used as a natural remedy, helping soothe sore throats, support digestion, and even assist in wound care due to its antibacterial properties. Even if it crystallizes over time, it's still good. A little warmth brings it right back to its original state. In a long-term situation, honey does more than just add flavor. It adds comfort. 17. Ramen noodles. Ramen often gets labeled as a cheap, quick meal, but there's a reason it shows up in survival discussions again and again. Those tightly packed bricks of noodles are designed for longevity. With low moisture content and sealed packaging, ramen can last up to 10 years when stored properly. In situations where energy is critical, ramen delivers fast calories with minimal effort. All it takes is hot water, and a full meal is ready in minutes. It may not be the healthiest option on the list, but survival isn't about perfection. It's about practicality. Calories matter, convenience matters, and reliability matters. Ramen checks all those boxes. 16. White vinegar. White vinegar is one of those items that quietly does everything without demanding attention. It never expires. Not in theory, not in practice. Its acidic nature prevents spoilage entirely, which means a bottle stored today will still be just as usable years down the line. But its real value comes from versatility. It works as a cooking ingredient, a cleaning agent, a preservative, and even a basic first aid solution in some cases. It can help preserve food, clean surfaces, and assist in food preparation all at the same time. That kind of multi-purpose use makes it incredibly valuable in any long-term storage plan. And the best part is how simple it is to store. No refrigeration, no complicated setup. Just keep it sealed and out of direct sunlight. 15. Lentils. Lentils may not look impressive, but they are one of the most efficient survival foods available. When dried and stored correctly, lentils can last up to 30 years without losing their nutritional value. That's decades of reliable food packed into something that takes up very little space. They are loaded with protein, fiber, iron, and complex carbohydrates. That combination makes them incredibly filling and nutritionally balanced. Another advantage is how quickly they cook compared to other legumes. In a situation where resources like fuel or time are limited, that matters more than most people realize. Lentils also absorb flavors easily, which means they can be transformed into a wide range of meals depending on what's available. From soups to stews, they adapt without much effort. 14. Powdered milk. Fresh milk is one of the first things to go bad during any disruption. Powdered milk solves that problem completely. Non-fat dry milk, when stored properly, can last 20 years or more. That's a massive advantage when refrigeration isn't guaranteed. It still delivers calcium, protein, and essential nutrients, making it a practical substitute for fresh milk. It can be rehydrated for drinking or used in cooking, baking, and other food preparation. It might not taste exactly like fresh milk, but in situations where nutrition matters more than preference, it becomes incredibly valuable. 13. Salt. Salt is one of the oldest and most important survival tools ever used. It doesn't spoil. Ever. As long as it stays dry, salt has an infinite shelf life. Beyond flavor, salt plays a critical role in preserving food. It can be used to cure meats, ferment vegetables, and extend the life of other foods. It's also essential for the human body. Proper hydration, muscle function, and nerve activity all depend on it. Without salt, even the most basic food supplies become harder to manage. 12. Instant coffee. Instant coffee might not seem essential at first glance, but its impact goes beyond just caffeine. Stored properly, it can last 20 years or more without losing potency. It's lightweight, easy to prepare, and requires nothing more than hot water. In high-stress situations, something familiar can make a huge difference. A simple cup of coffee can provide comfort, routine, and a mental boost. It also has mild appetite-suppressing effects, which can help stretch food supplies when needed. 11. Canned meats. Protein becomes one of the hardest things to secure during emergencies, and that's where canned meats become incredibly valuable. Whether it's tuna, chicken, or other preserved options, canned meats can last 5 to 10 years when stored correctly. They're ready to eat straight from the can, require no preparation, and provide dense nutrition. In a situation where fresh meat isn't available, having a reliable source of protein can make a significant difference in maintaining strength and energy. 10. Oats. Oats are simple, but they're one of the most dependable long-term foods out there. Stored in airtight conditions, they can last 30 years or more. They provide steady energy through complex carbohydrates, along with fiber and essential nutrients. They can be turned into breakfast, snacks, or even added into other meals. They're easy to store, easy to prepare, and incredibly versatile. 9. Sugar. Sugar might look like a luxury item at first glance, but in a long-term storage plan, it becomes far more important than expected. When stored correctly, sugar doesn't spoil. It doesn't break down, lose its sweetness, or become unsafe to use over time. That alone makes it a powerful addition to any stockpile. But the real value of sugar goes beyond taste. It's a natural preservative. For centuries, sugar has been used to extend the life of fruits, turning them into jams, syrups, and other long-lasting foods. That means it doesn't just last forever, it helps other foods last longer too. It also provides quick energy. In situations where energy levels drop and food options are limited, sugar delivers a fast calorie boost. And just as important, it brings a sense of comfort. When everything else feels repetitive or bland, a little sweetness can make a big difference. 8. Oil and ghee. Cooking fats are often overlooked when thinking about long-term storage, but they play a critical role in both nutrition and meal preparation. Oils like vegetable oil or olive oil can last around 2 to 3 years when stored properly, while ghee can last even longer due to its stability and low moisture content. Fats are essential for the body. They provide concentrated energy and help with overall function. Without them, even a full meal can feel incomplete. They also transform food. A simple combination of grains or vegetables becomes far more satisfying when cooked with oil or ghee. Flavor improves, texture improves, and overall calorie intake increases. Ghee, in particular, stands out because it can handle high heat and has a longer shelf life compared to regular butter. It's reliable, efficient, and incredibly useful in almost any meal. 7. Freeze-dried or canned fruits. Fresh fruit is one of the first things to disappear in any emergency, which makes preserved options incredibly valuable. Freeze-dried fruits can last up to 25 years while retaining much of their flavor and nutritional value. That's decades of access to something that normally spoils within days. Canned fruits don't last quite as long, but they still hold up for several years and provide important vitamins and natural sugars. These foods also bring variety. When meals start to feel repetitive, something sweet and refreshing can break that pattern. Whether added to oats, eaten as a snack, or used in cooking, they provide flexibility. They're lightweight, easy to store, and don't require refrigeration, which makes them ideal for both long-term storage and portable emergency kits. 6. Bouillon cubes. Flavor is one of the first things to disappear when relying on basic survival foods. That's where bouillon cubes come in. These small cubes are packed with concentrated flavor and can instantly upgrade a simple meal. Rice, lentils, or canned vegetables can go from bland to satisfying with just one addition. They typically last 5 to 10 years or more when stored properly, and they take up almost no space. That combination of long shelf life and compact size makes them incredibly practical. In situations where food options are limited, taste matters more than expected. A better tasting meal can improve morale and make repetitive eating more manageable. 5. Meals ready to eat, MREs. MREs are designed for one purpose, and they do it extremely well. They provide complete meals that are ready to go without any preparation. Originally developed for military use, these meals are sealed, self-contained, and built to last. Stored properly, they can remain usable for 5 to 10 years or longer. Each package typically includes a main dish, sides, and sometimes even snacks or desserts. Everything needed is already included. They're also portable. That makes them ideal for situations where movement is necessary or when cooking simply isn't possible. Having a few of these on hand means having access to full meals without relying on external resources. 4. Wheat berries. Wheat berries are one of the most underrated long-term storage foods available. They are whole, unprocessed wheat kernels, and when stored correctly, they can last 30 years or more. What makes them especially valuable is their flexibility. They can be ground into fresh flour when needed, which allows for baking bread or making other foods on demand. Unlike processed flour, which can go bad relatively quickly, wheat berries hold their nutrients and stability for decades. They can also be cooked whole and used in meals, adding texture and nutrition. This makes them both a raw ingredient and a ready-to-use food. 3. Hardtack. Hardtack is one of the oldest survival foods still known today, and its reputation comes from one thing: it lasts almost forever. Made from just flour and water, hardtack can remain edible for decades, even centuries if stored properly. It's not known for its taste or texture. In fact, it's extremely hard and simple. But that simplicity is exactly what gives it such incredible durability. Historically, it was used by sailors and soldiers who needed food that wouldn't spoil during long journeys. It may not be exciting, but it's dependable. In a situation where options are limited, having something that simply refuses to go bad can make all the difference. 2. Pemmican. Pemmican is one of the most efficient survival foods ever created. It combines dried meat, rendered fat, and sometimes dried berries into a dense, compact food source. This combination delivers protein, fat, and carbohydrates all in one. When stored properly, pemmican can last for decades without refrigeration. It has been used historically by indigenous communities, explorers, and travelers who needed reliable nutrition during long journeys. It's lightweight, calorie-dense, and extremely efficient. A small portion provides a significant amount of energy, which makes it ideal for situations where food needs to be both portable and powerful. 1. Peanut butter. At the top of the list sits something familiar, accessible, and incredibly effective. Peanut butter checks almost every box when it comes to long-term food storage. It's packed with calories, protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients like magnesium and vitamin E. It doesn't require refrigeration. It lasts for years when unopened, and it's ready to eat straight from the jar. 2 tablespoons can provide nearly 200 calories, which makes it an efficient energy source. In a situation where maintaining energy is critical, that matters a lot. It's also incredibly versatile. It can be added to oats, spread on bread or crackers, mixed with powdered milk, or simply eaten on its own. And beyond the nutrition, it offers something just as important: comfort. Familiar taste can make a difficult situation feel just a little more manageable. These foods aren't just random pantry items. Each one has proven its value through time, science, and real-world situations. Some last decades, some last forever. Some bring nutrition, others bring energy, and a few bring something just as important: a sense of normalcy when everything else feels uncertain. Together, they create a system that doesn't rely on refrigeration, constant resupply, or perfect conditions. They simply sit, wait, and remain ready. That's what makes them powerful. If this list helped rethink what belongs in a long-term pantry, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Drop a comment with which of these foods would be stocked first, and share this with someone who should probably start preparing sooner rather than later.